Welcome to the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. We are a vibrant, inclusive, and spiritual community that seeks to live intentionally, love unconditionally, and see God in all people and in all faiths. We believe the work we do in prayer and in the community creates a world that works for all cultures, races, orientations, and faiths. For over 60 years, we have practiced thinking globally and acting locally to help awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Annually, hundreds of people actively participate in our services, classes, events, and in our Spanish-speaking ministry. And we are training the next generation of spiritual leadership in our ministerial school. In the last few years, because of apparent divisions politically and socially, and because of threats to basic human rights, we have magnified our application of Science of Mind principles with engagement and compassionate action in the greater Napa Valley community. Our members have participated in women's marches, pride events, and we have hosted speakers on racial issues. We have empowered and mentored diverse leaders in our community and given scholarships to diverse ministerial students. We have donated over 4,000 pounds of food to our local food bank. Our spiritual director, Reverend Jay Lang, has facilitated an interfaith leadership group to hold public prayer vigils and 9/11 commemorations in participation with Jews, Muslims, and Christians. We have fostered the creation of a beloved community in the larger Napa Valley area by honoring community heroes at events and tithing to and partnering with a dozen different nonprofits that share our vision. Together, we've created a Martin Luther King Day of Service where over 1,200 participated in community service annually. The leadership of our parent organization, the Centers for Spiritual Living, headquartered in Golden, Colorado, recognized our community for all of the outstanding, compassionate work we've been doing over the last few years with the 2022 Meritorious Community Award. As we move forward to do this work of the heart, to awaken the world to its spiritual magnificence, will you join us as we continue to ascend to new heights and create a world that works for everyone?
Just to be in community together and know the deeper truths about ourselves and how that's just showing up in that way. So I would like to invite Astra to start us with some music this morning. And if you'll look on the screen, you'll even see words to go with her song. So sing along. Welcome, Astra. Let's welcome her.
Me in singing. Can you hear me? All right. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need. Love gives me everything I need.
Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have a unique perspective up here of being able to see all of you, and I want to let you say you guys look magnificent today. And so I'd like you to turn to people around you, introduce yourself, and tell them they look magnificent today. All right, that's enough magnificence for today. Let's turn to our, what? So our vision and mission statement, if you'll look up on the screen and read with me, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission statement, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. A great affirmation for this community that is inclusive, that embraces all people, all walks of life, all faiths, orientations, races, cultures, and we want to know that it's the way of Spirit to include all. And we are messengers and opening for Spirit itself in that way. So thank you for being a part of this community and in all ways. We have a few announcements I wanted to talk about that are important announcements for this month of October that it is now. First of all, it continues to be Latinx Heritage Month, and this particularly, and that's important for this valley because we owe a lot to the prosperity and abundance and the cultural beauty of this valley because of the Latinx influence. And I heard something the other day about when Latinos prosper, we all prosper. But I think that's true of, you'll hear from my message today that when we each prosper, we all prosper, that it's our vision to have a world that works for everyone, not just a few people. So thank you for being a part of that. And also this month our theme is to rise higher and grow deeper 2.0. It's actually been the theme for this whole year that we've had, but now that we're into October, it's that unique time of the year when we begin to look back at the year to see how it's been and things we can be grateful for, as well as look forward, things we want to carry into the new year, things that we want to add or improve or expand. So it's this time that we look back and just see how this year, and I am truly grateful for this community that has brought a great abundance to this, in many ways, abundance of joy and happiness and peace that we all feel in this community. And I'm so grateful for that. We sent a letter out this week. I know it did not make it to everybody for different reasons, because we don't have your current address, or perhaps the mail was slow or whatever. But it was just a letter to thank you from the board and I for this community, for all that you've done for us, and invite you to the dinner that is on, let me advance slides here because I want to make sure, on November 8th at 5 p.m. And it's an appreciation community dinner for all the things that you've done this year, just engaging this community, volunteer work, financial support, just being a part of just being here, because this community is vibrant and vital, and because of our full participation in it. The other thing that was included in this is also, like I mentioned, we're grateful for what has been so far this year, but also looking forward to 2026, if you can believe that. And so we've included in those envelopes, and if you didn't get one, you can raise your hand to get one now, but it's thinking about what you might be giving in 2026, and it helps the board make decisions about our finances to give to the pledge. You're not required to give to the pledge. You can just give on a daily, on a Sunday basis, a weekly basis, or monthly basis. But we ask you consider it prayerfully what that might be, because it does help us budget things. But there's copies of the letters and the card intention. Once again, if you didn't receive one, or you can always just pick one up at the information table too. But if anybody would like one now, they could raise their hand. So that's also, you'll find that card of intention online via there's a QR code here or links online on our website. You can do that. So coming up the rest of this month today, as part of that, the board wanted just to sit down and see if you have any questions about the way we budget money, what our plans are, anything about our strategic plan. So we're just going to gather out in the courtyard, optional whether you're there or not, but we're just going to gather in the shade and have a conversation, see if you have any questions about that. So we'll have some time for coffee and snacks, and then we'll gather outside. And then also, next week, there's a couple things going on next week. One is it's the Green Bag Sunday, which is where we are every other month, part of a food donation drive. And we invite you to be part of that, to pick up a green bag. Janice is here, so plenty of green bags, I believe. And so pick one up, and then you fill it up with non-perishable items and bring it back the following during the week or by Sunday the 12th. And we take those down to the food bank, and they weigh them. And so far we've had, thousands and thousands of pounds that we've had. So it's great that we continue to do that. And then also something interesting that's more of a community event rather than just our center, but our center is definitely engaged in it. And I'll talk more about that later, but it's a Napa Against Hate rally that's in Memorial Park that starts at 12:30. Laura Keller Coyote is one of the speakers, as I am also, so we're represented at that rally. And I know the name sounds a little bit like it's against something, but really I went last year with a little skepticism about it and found it to be just lovely, their promotion of kindness and making a difference in our community. So I invite you to do that. Bring a picnic lunch if you want to. Down, Memorial Park, there's plenty of space to, did I say, it's Veterans Park. Thank you. Veterans Park, just right down here on Main Street. And it's got that tiered thing, so you'll find a good seat no matter what. And then on the 18th, I'm doing a workshop on financial freedom. There's information about that on the information table or online. The 26th, we're having a sound journey with one of our musicians who plays the different bowls and instruments, and it's a beautiful experience on the 26th, and you can find information about that online or at the information table. And finally, as I mentioned, the annual community appreciation dinner, which the board and I are providing all the food. You just show up. We'll have the room in here decorated with tables, and just sit down and enjoy the meal. We'll have entertainment. We're going to do some sing-alongs that night and just enjoy our time together as a community. So all are invited as a way to thank you for all that you've been doing in this community. Please know that we are founded in prayer, and that all that we do, we consider prayer to be a connection with Spirit, and our way to send blessings to you, to know that the universe responds to your request. So please bring us requests. Either there are some in the lobby, they're online, or after the service we'll have practitioners up here that you can meet with if you'd like to share with, and then get a personal prayer. You're welcome to do that. So we invite you to do that. And now we'll begin this sacred time.
So I invite you to take a deep breath in as we begin to focus on that quiet space within. I invite you to sing along with me or just listen as we open our hearts and minds to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive more good. I am open to receive. I am ready, I believe. I am open to receive more good. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive wisdom. I am open to receive. I am ready, I believe. I am open to receive wisdom. I am open to receive. I am open to receive. I am open to receive more truth. I am open to receive. I am ready, I believe. I am open to receive more truth. I am open to receive. I am ready, I believe. I am open to receive more truth. I am open to receive wisdom. I am open to receive more good.
Some more deep breaths to just bring that spirit right down into your heart. I'm just going to do a little prayer today because we have a special couple that are going to come and speak with us. So I'm just going to do a prayer. And the way that I do prayer is kind of in the Native American way. So, Mother, Father, God, thank you. Thank you for today. Thank you to Kachalo, Ankataka, the great mystery. I just give thanks, and whatever name I use, I know there is only one power, one all-knowing, one all-loving, unconditional love. I know that it is born within me when I was born. I know it is born within each of us in this room. And I know it's especially born within Mary and Mike, for their speaking to us today about their journey here to us and being supporters of our church. And I just give thanks for this. And I pass my word to Mary and Mike.
So each October we have sharers that come in here from the community to share about our community. And this first time, I'd like to invite Mike and Mary Ward up here. Let's give them a round of applause. So both of them have been very instrumental in this community. I've been, I would say, part of a foundation. You trying to trip me there? Foundation of heart-centered volunteerism as well as work, and the center of this community. We changed a few years ago when I came. Mary and I were talking. We changed her name to administrator to center facilitator, because she facilitates all things. And most people have figured out that if you want to know things, you can ask me and I'll go ask Mary, or you could go straight to Mary. So anyway, part of the sharing that we want to do is just talk about why this community's been so important to you. You've now been here, what, about 15 years?
We came here in 2000.
We moved to Napa in 2007.
7, came to the church in 2008.
Right.
Okay.
Started working
All right.
here in 2009.
So what has brought value and meaning to you in this community?
So much is...
We use the microphone,
Yeah.
so you can
Okay.
share.
So we came here. We came here very wounded. We had lost our beautiful home in Dana Point, Ocean View. It was beautiful. Mike had lived there about 15 years. I'd lived there about 10. And we lost it to mortgage fraud. And so when we came here, we were doing our lives over. So it was really a big deal coming, and we found this community, and it just moved things forward so rapidly because of the principles here. It was amazing. And the community, the love. We were in a situation where we had lost faith in other people. These were people that we knew that had frauded us out of our home. And so it was hard for us to even trust ourselves. And so to come here and be with such an amazing community.
Yeah, it really provided a soft landing. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I came here for a book club, Eckhart Tolle's New Earth, and the center was having a book club, and I came, and then I never left. And then I got Mike to come, and on Sunday mornings we would be racing out the door to get here. I mean, I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd find a place where my husband would be coming
It
to
wasn't just
church
in my
and
nature somehow.
engaged. Yeah.
Until here. And then, it's called community is really what it is.
And what was the value that you found in this community? What restored your faith and your heart and your trust in life?
It comes down to one of the simple things that we say here, don't you think? I mean, it's, change your thinking, change your life.
Yeah.
And we, that's what we did, and we got it. It was just so amazing to be with people who were wanting to live courageous lives and step out of themselves, take classes, come to workshops, show up on Sundays, and
It's funny how the guiding principles kind of filtered down through the rest of our lives. Once we left the property,
Right.
Monday through Friday through Saturday and so forth. The guiding principles of, community, of course, gratitude.
gratitude's a big
yeah.
one, So grateful to be part of a community.
A little bit of humbleness always helps. But at the same time being proud of being associated with something. Somehow this was our beacon here. This is our lighthouse. This is where we navigated to, and this was kind of our center of our lives. That sounds a little bit dramatic. Everybody has multiple centers in their lives, but this certainly was. The center was
definitely
a center for sure.
And still is.
And it's absolutely still is. Yeah, we were talking about some of the folks this morning about community and how important that is in our lives.
To come here and just be surrounded by so many really amazing
warm,
people.
good, solid people.
Yeah, that really care and are doing things and doing good work in the world.
And you're volunteers. You come here because you want to, not because there's some compelling reason in the back of your mind that motivates you to come here or else.
Yeah.
You're here because you're here, because you want to be, because you want to be with the
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, does anybody have a question for Mike and Mary?
easy questions now.
No? Oh, going once, going twice?
I guess we covered it.
Okay. Oh, BB's got a question back
All
here.
right.
Good question.
Gosh.
33.
Uh-oh, you're on the spot, Mike.
No.
Addition very
I have to
quickly.
do some arithmetic. 91, December 26th.
Yeah, so what
day
is
after
that?
Christmas,
So-
1991.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry?
So we, 35 years?
Yeah.
35 this year?
years. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And-
right.
And
Come December.
I just want to add, I mean, it's like, and we bought a home here. We
Oh,
were
yeah.
able to
Yeah.
buy a home. It's a small little cottage, and we just love it. But all things are possible. I mean, just always, all things
Yeah.
are
Because you
possible.
thought when you came here, you were financially broken as well.
Oh,
Right,
we
absolutely,
were
yeah.
starting
Couldn't
over.
rub a couple of
and,
dimes together, but here we are,
We were
you
in
know.
our 40s and 50s, and it was like trying to do life over. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
here you
part
are.
of that was the structure that we had
Yeah.
here and the sense
Support.
of security and support that we got from the church.
We
for
started
sure.
taking classes immediately. Rinde? Oh, it was huge.
So the question for those online, it was a question about forgiveness and how they came to
It's
forgiveness.
huge. I mean, I could start crying. It was huge.
That's huge.
Not only forgiving the people that we thought were our friends, but forgiving ourselves for being, part of it, because we're all part of everything that happens to us, and so forgiving ourselves, it was huge. And we took quite a few forgiveness workshops here. They used to do them.
That's right.
Yeah, they used to do them once a year. And so I was just so grateful for that.
Yeah, because forgiveness doesn't happen one
Over-
time thing. There's several layers of
Yeah,
it.
That's right.
yeah.
Exactly
But the
right.
forgiveness of ourselves is the biggest. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Good
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
All
Thank you, Renee.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now back to Astra.
So, in that vein, this is called Play in the Garden. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La 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 da 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 da. La da 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 da. La 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 da I play in the garden, I play in the garden, I play in the garden of prosperity. I play in the garden, I play in the garden, I play in the garden of prosperity. I tend it and it grows. I love it and it grows. I trust it and it grows. A new reality. I tend it and it grows. I love it and it grows. I trust it and it grows. A new reality. I play in the garden. I play in the garden. I play in the garden of prosperity. I dance in the garden. I dance in the garden. I dance in the garden of prosperity. I tend it and it grows. I love it and it grows. I trust it and it grows. A new reality. I tend it and it grows. I love it and it grows. I trust it and it grows. A new reality. I play in the garden. I play in the garden. I play in the garden of prosperity. I play in the garden. I play in the garden. I play in the garden of prosperity.
Lovely. You're your own choir, your quartet. Lovely. So good to have everybody here today. We are opening our new theme this month with rising higher and growing deeper in a higher and deeper way. This is also the month that I speak about the F words, which is financial freedom, before you make too many assumptions. It's interesting about this idea of giving and receiving. I heard the other day that a bald man was given a comb, and he was so grateful for the gift, he said, "I'll never part with it." Come on, give me a little bit here. The other thing I know about our prosperity, about our abundance, it's more than money. It's also of love and joy, that it requires us to surrender and be open to something greater than us, more powerful, more aligned with that which is deeper and true. And what I love about this teaching that we are a part of, it gives us the way to do that. And I've seen expansion of individuals here in this community opening to your greater good, and I've seen us as a whole, as a community, doing that as well. And this is the value of these teachings that Mike and Mary talked about, change your thinking. It's changing your beingness too, your consciousness, your awareness, but it does start with thinking. It's aligning in that way. And I think we're ready to experience a new level of this, and that's why I titled this month 2.0, because we're ready for an up-leveling of it. I can sense there's this shifting going on in this community, and it's making a difference in the world. And part of that is also partnering with other churches and nonprofits and organizations that are doing the same kind of work, so that we do that together in so many different ways. Jean Houston, who is a famed mystic, she wrote a introduction to the Science of Mind book, which was written by the founder of our philosophy, our teachings, Ernest Holmes. And she said, Ernest Holmes was the first to direct us to what is to be found in the vast ecology of inner space. In his scope of understanding and application, he anticipated and prepared the field for the revolution in mind and brain research that was to come. The Science of Mind shows us how to be active and creative citizens in a universe and in an inner verse, I think she made that word up, richer than all previous imaginings. So what's beautiful about the way she talks about this is Holmes did set the foundation, along with other new thought writers and modern psychologists and spiritual teachers, that allow us to step into something greater. And what I also love about Ernest Holmes is he was clear, and then, by the way, that's our theme for 2026, that to be open at the top, to allow things to evolve, not to be static, that this is what it is. And that's what we're experiencing, and that's part of today's title about being ready to receive. And are we ready? Are you ready to receive? And what might be holding you back? This is a great time of the month to do that. Great season, because the leaves are about to turn and about to fall, so it reminds us to surrender to something greater than us. As Ernest Holmes called it, a force for good in the universe, and we can allow it to use us in this way. But what's interesting about receiving things is often, even on the surface level, sometimes if we receive a compliment, we're a little hesitant to accept it, because we don't want to seem arrogant or boastful or anything like that. And I also think our abundance in our life, the amount of peace and love and joy that we have, sometimes we don't know if we deserve it, or we have beliefs, or we're hesitant to act on certain things in our lives, and we're cautious about things. Instead of just fully knowing that the good is coming, even if we don't know where it comes from, that it continues to open up new ways of being and new prosperity and abundance of all things in our lives. Part of the 2.0 that I'm talking about, part of the things that evolved for me and what I bring to this community. As we have, Ernest Holmes designed the science of mind symbol that at the simplest level is the divine seed that comes into the soil and creates things in our lives. But I've begun to see it as that and more, and part of that is because I'm a fan of Richard Rohr, who's a progressive Christian. And the way he talks about the Trinity is really powerful to me. He talks about it as being the allness of spirit that is, And for me, that's the top part of this teaching of mind symbol, the allness of spirit. And then he talks about the personal indwelling spirit. And Ernest Holmes talked about that too, the indwelling spirit, that there's no difference between the allness and the innermost God. They're the same God. But it's the way we receive that's become important to me. I receive this within me, the divine blessings, the divine love, the divine joy, and I receive it fully, and I am that within. And then when I know that within, that becomes my experiences out into the world, so I receive it, and then His Spirit through me, or through us as a community, through each of you. But it's important that it's not just a mental thing, it's an embodiment thing, that we allow it to come into us and allow that. And we, in this way, create our trust, our knowing that there is goodness coming in and through me as me. And I know that the way we want to prepare for our good is to allow that to come in through us. Ernest Holmes says, prepare our minds to receive the best that life has to offer. Sometimes we don't even know what that is. But we prepare a way by letting go of anything, letting those things fall that don't no longer serve us. Isaiah in the Old Testament and in the Torah said, prepare the way for Yahweh, make straight in the desert a highway for Yahweh. What's interesting about that term, which we say Yahweh now, or God, or Spirit, it was, they hesitated to have, the ancient Jewish hesitated to say any kind of name for God, because they didn't think any word would justify or fully depict the allness of God. And I understand that idea. And so this was more of a sound, similar to the way the Hindus say Om for the name of the allness of God. That it's more of a sound because there's no words that really depict it. So what they're saying, what Isaiah was saying as a prophet, is make way for that inside, that we open up, we let go of anything that no longer serves us, and we open up to this in a way. The allness of spirit that comes through us into the indwellingness and opens us and allows us to bring this love into things. We can even take a moment in an area of concern or conflict, if you want to call it that, appearance of conflict, and ask, just drop in, just take a moment of quietness, even if you don't exactly know what God is. Allow it to be a good could be used for it instead. Or some other term you have for it, spirit, divine intelligence, and just quiet down and go, what in this situation, what would love look like in this situation? What would my health look like? What would harmony look like in this situation, or feel like, or what is the experience in this? And just open up to Spirit coming through us, because this is the third part, allowing this to receive through us and allow us to show us a way to create beauty and harmony in the world where we don't know the way. I have a friend who, Cynthia James is her name, and she's a friend of mine I used to work with her at a large church in Denver. She was a minister there. But she has a fame before that. She's an actress. And she was in Days of Our Lives and other, like 20 different movies. But she talks about how she was first wanting to be an actress before she got any major roles at all. And she, at the time, was going to Agape Church, I knew her from Mile High Church, which is a mega church in Denver. This is a mega church down in Southern California with Michael Beckwith, if you know who he is. And she was there, and she learned how to do affirmations and prayers and journaling, and she was doing all these things, and she still wasn't getting roles. And it wasn't until she started working with the teens and kind of working with them in a phrase that is, "Are you ready to receive?" which is also an acronym for the ways we do prayer. But sometimes when you teach something, you learn it more. And so she made her own acronym out of that phrase of the AURTR, which is A for absolute infinite energy is always present. Y for you are a manifestation of that universal energy. R for recognize that the universe is completely for you. T for thanksgiving and gratitude that are healing. And R for releasing the doubts and fears and core beliefs that hold us hostage to experience freedom. And especially that last part is what I'm talking about, is noticing what's holding you back, or even you don't know what it is. You don't have to know all the beliefs that are holding you back. Just ask for Spirit to move through you and letting them go, so you can experience the fullness of this way. And when she really embodied that and was willing to let go, she recognized some dysfunctional parts of her family growing up, beliefs that she came with us, and guess what? She started getting these parts. And she got, 20 or so movies, Days of Our Lives, a lot of, the fullness of life in LA and Hollywood. Until, because she kept her connection with Spirit, it wasn't like, oh, now I'm an actress, I could just leave all that behind. She kept her spiritual connection, and there was a move in her to change direction. And she left Hollywood, and she became a minister, and that's where I met her at Mile High Church, and she's an extraordinary speaker. And now that she's beyond that, she's doing workshops primarily for women, extraordinary transformational speaker and workshop leader. So she's an amazing woman, and I was always inspired by her and her way of being. But that all started with just opening up to Spirit in different ways. And I know there are times in my life when I felt constricted or limited or in lack. And when I was in that, guess what my experiences were? Limitation, lack, less than. And that it's a weird cycle, because so I experienced that, so I think I am that, and there's something wrong with me, and then because I feel that in my being that I'm less than, then I'm going to experience more less than. So it's not a fun cycle at all. So to rework that and allow Spirit to come through us, and when I was open to abundance, I had dreams that led me to things, to greater prosperity, jobs that, I remember one particular job it led me to, I didn't think, I knew about the job opening. I didn't think I deserved it. I didn't think I had the right resume. I didn't think I had the right education, blah, 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 even though it was my dream job. And then speaking of dreams, I had a prophetic dream that showed me doing the things that if I had this job, it would showed me doing this. And it was like, you have little dreams that are your neurosis, then you have these big dreams. This was a big dream. I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning, and I went down to the HR that day, and I found out it was the last day to apply for this job. I applied for it and got the job. But it's Spirit that reminded me, yes, you can. Stop believing your limitations. And that's when what it was a school counselor. I wanted to move from teaching to be a school counselor, and I went on to loving being a high school counselor for more than a decade. Really loved that until I got that call to become a minister like Cynthia had. It's interesting that things move. But the important about this is that we don't listen to the old beliefs, of which there are many, not only familiar but cultural. I mean, the Torah and the Old Testament, at the very beginning, Adam and Eve have 2 sons. I'm sure they had daughters too. I don't know why they weren't in there. That's kind of a funny thing, but don't get me started on that. But okay, so Cain and Abel, and they both offered. There's this old style in the Old Testament where you offer things to God to prove that you sacrifice things and honor that. And Cain offered. He was a farmer, and he offered these goods of his produce, and his brother Abel was a rancher, so to speak, or a hunter, and he offered the goods of the animal. And for some reason, God refused the offering of Cain. Now, what kind of story is that? Why would God, and you know, people make up stories of why they refused it, but the point is that that's not my experience of God at all. That's just some human story that's made up. Or the story of Isaac's sons, Esau and Jacob. And Jacob was the younger son, and at that time, only the older son would get the inheritance of the land and property of that. So Jacob tricked his brother into giving him that inheritance, tricked his father by wearing this, sheep's clothing because his brother was hairier, his arms were hairier, and to get this blessing, and he got the blessing. So we don't need to trick God, or we don't need to sacrifice more, or the right kind of sacrifice, or the right kind of surrender, the right kind of prayer, the right kind of affirmations. Just be open. That's all we need to do. Be open to that which is greater than us. But these cultural things continue to affect us in so many ways. So there are certain laws, and I've been talking about this in my Thursday night class. It's been really fun to talk about them, and I just thought I'd bring them on Sunday too. So when we talk about bringing spirit in through, and the way it creates through us is through these spiritual laws. And one is called the law of release and acceptance, and that's simply that we create room in our lives by letting go, by releasing beliefs and attitudes that no longer serve us. And if we don't fill that vacuum with a new way of thinking, doing, or being, that which we release will return. So that's a pretty simple thing. So I grew up playing baseball, and this is October, so there's a playoffs going on. We're the march towards the World Series. Unfortunately, the Giants or the Rockies, my two favorite teams, are not in there. But what I learned about when I was young, I guess I was younger when I wore this glove. What I learned about that is that you have to have a soft hand to receive the ball. Okay? I'll tell you, the first time when I learned how to play baseball and somebody threw the ball to me, the first time I tried to catch it, it was more like, oh, you know, like I'm just going to throw it up in the air and see if I catch it because I don't want it to hit me. And that's how we receive our blessings sometimes. We're afraid. We'll just go, okay, I'll just try, you know. And it, you know, prosperity does require mindfulness, not only of how we handle our finances, management of it, conscious of it, not just pretending that money will show up. If I just do a good prayer, everything will be wonderful. But the other thing about catching a baseball is that if you are too rigid, if you hold your hand out and it's too rigid, the ball will come in and it'll just fall down. If you're too soft, it'll come and it'll slip out that way. So you receive it. You receive the blessing that's in there. And when you throw it, you give it with grace and ease and love. And thank you, Casper. Let's give Casper a hand. And I think that's the same is true for our financial and abundance of joy and love, that we receive it with intention, with gratitude, with love and care and joy. And we allow this good to unfold. And another law is, instead of, like, there's a lot of emphasis on the law of attraction in media. And I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it's not the whole thing. Because what we're receiving is beyond getting a new car or a new relationship. It's deepening in the relationships we have and in our life. And that's allowing, it requires a patience and a continuing knowing spirits moving through us and allowing an unfolding for the right and perfect times for things to happen. And that when we receive, we're mindful and conscious of what we receive from and what we're giving, that it's for something, that there's no strings and it's against nothing. Now that phrase that Ernest Holmes, I first heard about, that if we can be for something against nothing, it's going to be powerful. However, he and I, and most people I know, believe there are times we have to stand up to something that's saying this is not right. This is not the way of Spirit, it's not kindness, it's not generosity, it's not the way we respect each other. And that's the rally, the importance. So it's next Sunday is this rally against hate. I think it's really important for us to attend that, to show up as a community. So I hope you can do that. And like I said, the first rally they had at the Westwood Park last year, I was a little skeptical because I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to a rally against anything. I never have and never will. I wanted to be for something. But what I found there was they were for kindness and for love, for deeper connection with each other as a community. And I think and I'm happy that we're able to do that and show up in this way. So as I mentioned, Laura and I are both speaking there, and I think it'll be a wonderful, the music and different things going on. It'll be a beautiful day, so I hope you're able to make it. And what I know about this law of giving and receiving is like the baseball. We catch it, we receive it fully, we're grateful for it, and then we find ways to give back to the world. One thing that I know is so powerful that I've learned just a deeper level of understanding the law of circulation. So the law of circulation suggests that all things in the universe are constantly in motion, circulating at an ever-expanding rate. And I love this diagram because I used to think of it as a simple give and take circulation. But in truth, it's like, maybe you've seen movies like Pay It Forward or commercials about kindness where somebody does a kindness act for someone and then someone does a kindness act for the person who did the kindness. So we give of all aspects of ourselves, our love, our joy, our creativity, our abundance, without a string attached, knowing that it'll come back to us, but not necessarily from which or whom we gave it to. We forgive others so that others will forgive us. We give joy and love, even if the person seems a little resistant to receive it. We still love them and we bless them to recognize Spirit in them. The namaste, to see the light in them. And two things happen when we're doing that, is that it creates a softness in us that we can receive more easily. And it also opens a door for us, for others, to give to us. That there's that synchronicity that happens, those things that cannot be explained when we're open. I spent last week visiting my mom, which was really a great visit. She's 95 and still moves around, but is a little slow to process and things like that. And I was visiting her on a daily basis in the afternoon, and I came one afternoon and we were just chatting a little bit. She goes, listen, something happened. I said, well, what happened? She goes, well, this morning I was sitting here, and you're 95, you have a routine. Everything happens at a certain time. And she goes, and I just had this idea to brush my teeth and get dressed, even though it wasn't the usual time I do it. I said, okay. And then she said, when I was in the bathroom, I heard a loud crash. And she came out, and one of the light fixtures that was on the ceiling above her had fallen down right where she would have been sitting. And she called for it. She's got a little button, little emergency. She called that, and they cleaned up everything, so there was no problem. But the point is, are we open to Spirit? Are you ready to receive Spirit and what it comes through? To listen? Sometimes it could be life-threatening. Sometimes it's just a moment that we need to be alive and paying attention. It could be a call you give somebody. A lingered conversation you have with someone, or something that leads you to think, I want to try this, I want to work with this, I want to do some things. I want to volunteer in some way. I want to open up to Spirit in a greater way. And we receive it, we embody it, and open up in this way. And we understand that that life offers us a lot of wisdom and joy and creativity when we open to it. So how, if we're ready to receive, how can blank show up more in my life or in this situation? Fill it in with the God quality of your choice. Love, prosperity, joy, creativity, passion, meaning. What is it that you're seeking? And what is it you're seeking that you think might shift the situation of your concern? How can you be more present? And you probably don't know the way, or you wouldn't be asking the question. So the other question is, Spirit, show me the way. Show me the way. Because I know that there's a higher good, and I know that this higher good will show. It may come in time. It may not be the burning bush that Moses had. And in time it will reveal itself through, it might be a sense in your body, it might be something you hear, something you see, or it might be an angel, a human angel in your life that offers something to you. And are you ready to receive it? Are you ready to receive the greater good that is in this universe and always coming through you as you? I encourage you to do so. Let us go to prayer. What I know in this moment, there is only God. Despite all the apparent division in this world, there is only one God, one force, one energy, one love. And it's that we harmonize with in this moment and allow that to be our truth as individuals, as a community. And I know Spirit is moving through us right here and right now, creating prosperity and abundance of joy and love in our lives beyond our dreams, beyond what we can comprehend, because this allness of Spirit is the greatest wisdom and power and love that is available, and we just allow it to come through us as us, knowing that all is good and all is in divine right order happening right here. And for this we're so grateful. And we declare it to be so by saying, and so it is.
In this gift of life, breathing in this life, breathing in this dream divine, breathing in this life, breathing out the whispering fears and distractions, breathing out my thoughts are clear revelation, leaning into grace of life, leaning into light, leaning into love divine, leaning into life, breathing out the whispering fears and distractions, breathing out my thoughts are clear revelation. Oh, 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 dream divine, breathing in this life, breathing in this life.
That's one of those songs I just want to sit in there and just breathe for a minute, breathing in the light. Thank you, beautiful song. Your number one fan there. This is a time in our service when we invite you to be part of our law of circulation. If our ushers could come forward, please. What I know, as I mentioned previously, that which you've given from the heart, from your consciousness, comes back to you tenfold in many ways, in greater love and joy. So we appreciate your support of our vision and mission to create a world that works for everyone. Thank you for being a part of that. And what I know is that you give in many different ways, are listed up here, but also some of you give on bill pay in different ways like that, or perhaps you give monthly instead of weekly. So I invite you to take your hand and put it over your heart to represent that which you've given in the past or that which you're given today, and speak the affirmation on the screen with me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is.
We are one in harmony, singing in celebration. Sing it with me. We are one in harmony, singing in celebration. You got it. We are one in harmony, singing in love. We are one, singing in celebration. We are one, singing in love. We are one in harmony, singing in celebration. We are one in harmony, singing in love. We are one, singing in celebration. We are one, singing in love. We are one in harmony, singing in celebration. We are one in harmony, singing in love. We are one, singing in celebration. We are one, singing in love.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is also the time we welcome anybody who might be here for the first time. If you're willing to raise your hand, we have a gift for you, as well as we'd love to connect with you after the service in our fellowships. Anybody here for the first time? Got some people over here, so thank you for being with us today. We also like to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. We welcome you here today. Thanks for being here. We also like to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries at the first of the month, and that would be today. So does anybody have an October birthday? Have an October birthday here? Oh, look at all these over there. Yay. Happy birthday. And anniversaries. Anybody have any anniversaries? Yes.
52 years for
Yay, Chris and Marty. Wow, 52 years. Anybody else anniversaries? We also want to honor sobriety anniversaries. We don't ask that you raise your hand for that because we know those are anonymous, but we also know the courage it takes to have that path, and so we honor that as well. So we have an affirmation today for our new people, as well as our birthdays and anniversaries today. So we raise our hands and we say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. Thank you for being with us today, and thank you everybody for being born, right? I don't think we have children today, but we go on. We did what? Oh, we have Casper here. Come on up here, Casper. And here, that's right. I was thinking we didn't have anybody. Come on up here. All right. So, where's my microphone? Can you tell us your names? Blue?
I'm Scarlett.
Scarlett?
As you might know, I'm Casper.
So we raise our hands in a blessing and we say, we love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. Yay. And if I could have our practitioners come forward, please. So our practitioners are here after the service. If you would like a personal one-on-one prayer, just remain in your seat, or you can have casual conversations, but just stay close by and let everybody else who is just going to go out and have fellowship move on out so we can create the sacredness here in this community. So thank you for being a part. Thank you, practitioners. And thank you, everybody, for being a part of this prayerful community we're in. Let's all stand for the congregational affirmation. Repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit.
I am led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I'm protected by love.
I'm protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
And so it is. And now our closing song.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
We thank them for their sharing so we can share with them. And everybody have a great Sunday.
Welcome to the Napa Valley Center for Spiritual Living. We are a vibrant, inclusive, and spiritual community that seeks to live intentionally, love unconditionally, and see God in all people and in all faiths. We believe the work we do in prayer and in the community creates a world that works for all cultures, races, orientations, and faiths. For over 60 years, we have practiced thinking globally and acting locally to help awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Annually, hundreds of people actively participate in our services, classes, events, and in our Spanish-speaking ministry. And we are training the next generation of spiritual leadership in our ministerial school. In the last few years, because of apparent divisions politically and socially, and because of threats to basic human rights, we have magnified our application of Science of Mind principles with engagement and compassion in action in the greater Napa Valley community. Our members have participated in women's marches, pride events, and we have hosted speakers on racial issues. We have empowered and mentored diverse leaders in our community and given scholarships to diverse ministerial students. We have donated over 4,000 pounds of food to our local food bank. Our spiritual director, Reverend Jay Lang, has facilitated an interfaith leadership group to hold public prayer vigils and 9/11 commemorations in participation with Jews, Muslims, and Christians. We have fostered the creation of a beloved community in the larger Napa Valley area by honoring community heroes at events and tithing to and partnering with a dozen different nonprofits that share our vision. Together, we've created a Martin Luther King Day of Service where over 1,200 participated in community service annually. The leadership of our parent organization, the Centers for Spiritual Living, headquartered in Golden, Colorado, recognized our community for all of the outstanding, compassionate work we've been doing over the last few years with the 2022 Meritorious Community Award. As we move forward to do this work of the heart, to awaken the world to its spiritual magnificence, will you join us as we continue to ascend to new heights and create a world that works for everyone?